And right now we're going to have Jackie do a special segment called Ask the Living Goddess. Take it away, Jackie.
Thank you. Well, the questions for Ask the Living Goddess this week were very practical ones, and ones that anybody that ends up doing a lot of ritual might run into. The first one is, okay, what do? I just spilled candle wax all over my robe or my altar cloth. How do I get that dried candle wax out of the fabric? The basic thing you need to do is to warm the wax so that it starts to melt again, and then mop it up with either paper or fabric. And a great way to warm it is with an iron on warm rather than hot. If you try to use a hot iron, it tends to burn the wax, which starts to look dark.
Like a bad idea.
It smells bad. It looks bad. It can stain the fabric. So just use your iron on a warm setting. I was talking to the audience earlier about their preferred methodology, and someone said a steam iron. But myself, I prefer the dry iron with the steam turned off. If you like, you could try it either way. But for me, I always thought it worked better just with the warm iron. So you get your fabric or your paper, and I found that craft paper or a brown paper bag works really well. And you just iron over that wax, and the paper or the fabric that you're ironing on over the wax will absorb the melted wax. Sometimes you need to do that 2 or 3 times. Okay, how many people have done that? How many people in ritual or in other situations have spilled wax all over? And how many people use the application of warmth to get that out again? Yeah. No, you did something differently. What did you, I'm sorry, I can't read that. Can you read that? Freezing it would just make it harder. Oh, and then you chipped it off? Possibly. Possibly, but it depends upon whether it's just on the surface of the fabric or whether it's sunk all the way in. If it's sunk all the way in, then I think you'll find the application of warmth actually melts it out of the fibers, whereas freezing would get the top layer off but wouldn't get the rest of it off. Okay, so here's a corollary question for Ask the Living Goddess. And it's also related to accidents during ritual. What do you do when you spill that ritual wine, the white wine or the red wine, all over something, a fabric or a carpet or something like that? You said salt. Some people will use salt or baking powder, something that will absorb
baking soda.
Baking soda. You're right. So baking soda, something that will absorb that spill. And you let it all get absorbed, and then you can vacuum it up or brush it off. But the other possible thing is to use club soda. And again, you'd be blotting. It would be similar to what you were doing when you were ironing out the wax. You would need an absorbent paper or absorbent fabric. In this case, both under and over the wine stain. And then you could blot with your club soda. Someone told me that Martha Stewart's preferred method was just water, blotting with water. The faster you can get to it, the better. That is, in this case, don't let it dry first, because especially with the red wine, it's more likely to stain. If you can get it out before it's dried in there, then there'll be less problem with staining. And once again, I cannot read what you're trying to tell me there. Vinegar. Some people use vinegar on spilled wine. White wine or red, or either. Both. These are folk, remedies, but also
we're folk.
We're folk. But also often work very well. Try it out if you like on a sample piece of cloth, on a rag that you're not using, and see what you think. Vinegar is acidic, wine is also acidic. If you use the baking soda, that would be alkaline.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure that whether one works better than the other. Do a little home science experiment and try it out if you like.
Good idea.
Ask something about baking soda?
Vinegar after the baking soda.
Oh, you said you put the baking soda on and let it dry, and then you put the vinegar on after?
Yeah.
I think if there were any kind of a discoloration, that probably the plain clear, white vinegar might help take that discoloration out. It would be like bleaching something with lemon juice. It'd be like slightly bleaching with the vinegar.
I think that could happen, yeah.
That acidic effect. Okay, try them out. Email us back or Skype back. Let us know how it worked for you. But I have definitely done the wax trick with the iron many a time.
So, Jackie, how do you want people to contact you when they have questions for you to answer on air?
Oh, well, under normal circumstances, when in programs that aren't zombie programs, but where we actually are going out live, you can certainly Skype in or email in to our chat room with questions. Yeah. You can also, in between the shows, you can email me at my website, thelivinggoddess.com, or you can email info at ModernPaganTV.com.
Right. Okay.
Any of those ways, it will eventually get to me. Okay?
And so, with your background in psychology and all of your ritual experience, people can email you just about anything. About
many topics. You can ask me about metaphysical topics. I can, if I know the answer, I can give you an answer, or I can go research the answer for you if it's something I don't know. You can ask me about spiritual or religious topics. You can also ask me about personal topics, personal concerns, or questions you have related to your own spiritual path, if you like. I don't have time to answer every question individually, but I will answer as many of them on air as I am able to do. And I will be beginning a posting some of the ones that there aren't, and some of the answers that there aren't the time to answer on air, posting some of them up on the ModernPagan .tv website as well. All of us who are guests or co-hosts on a regular basis have the little area. I think it's guests.
Yours is under About the Show.
About the Show.
And then it says Ask the Living Goddess.
Okay.
And then under guest resources, that's where they would find the links like to books or music CDs of people who are on the show.
Okay.
And websites.
So I mixed those two things up, but there are places you can get to easily, you can click to from the website to get more information and web links for our guests and also for our regular presenters.
But also, as a professional psychic, you actually have appointments available for people who want to come in and see you. Is that not correct?
Oh, sure. That's part of the way I make my living is as a psychic reader. If you're in the Denver area.
That $1.3 million, 4,900 square foot house that you're going to get now?
Oh, right. Yeah. I wouldn't turn it down, but I would need to have felt like I earned it at first. Or I wouldn't feel good about it. People can certainly make appointments with me for readings if you're in the Denver area, or you can even call. I do telephone readings, and it's just a matter of emailing me to make an appointment with me, and we could do a reading at that point, too.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Super. So all of those ways to get in touch with Jackie. We're going to do a commercial break, and when we come back, Shauna Burns.
I'm chasing twisters down avenue.
You're watching Modern Pagan TV. If you'd be interested in advertising on our program or becoming a sponsor, please email info@modernpagan.tv. We'll be right back after these important messages.
Same communication to your unspoken love.